Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to my channel, guys. This is today's look. Today we're going to be doing another birds of a feather look. I'm so excited for it. I love the way that this turned out. We're going to ignore the little boo-boo on the side of my lip right here. Not a cold sore, but there was just a teeny tiny little bump, and I decided that I needed to play with it. So now it's more than a teeny tiny little bump. So we're just going to ignore it. And we're going to really focus on it. This very stunning bird inspired eye look. So this week's bird is a Scarlet Macaw. Now, if you know what those are, they're a beautiful parrot. It's in the parrot family. They are this beautiful, vibrant red with blue and yellow and green plumage, and they are absolutely stunning. So that is what inspired this week's look. I love it so much. We're going to use a super affordable palette to accomplish this. This is the Revolution Integrity Wild Animal palette, which I thought was very fitting. I love the packaging. I know I've talked about this palette before, but it is so beautiful. It's got this black and white zebra print with this kind of like blue kind of backing. It is so pretty. The actual color story is so pretty. You've got a really beautiful mix of mattes and shimmers. You've got satins and metallics. Really gorgeous. It is perfect for this eye look. And it's so simple. It is so simple and so easy. And we're just going to kind of like get to it. Guys, it is a very cold winter's day here in North Carolina. It is snowy and rainy and gross outside. So I am very cozy in my makeup stained robe. Actually, this was a present from my Mr. Hubby a couple years ago, and I wear it all the time. I feel like so regal in this. Actually, it just makes me feel so like special. Anyway, so yes, I am cozy, I am comfy, I am at my makeup desk, my very happiest place, and we're going to dive in to this absolutely gorgeous eye look. I'll give you guys a close-up of it real quick. My eye is super red and watery. This one's fine, of course, but it's always this one. That's why my bottom lash line, the makeup doesn't look as good as it should. It's just because my eye is like continuously watering and washing it away. I've reapplied the red a million times and it just keeps washing away. So it is what it is. But it is absolutely beautiful. Super easy to accomplish. And I love it. I love it so much. We're going to use a couple of really just like common brushes today. So all of these brushes or ones like them you should have in your repertoire. So we're just gonna go to it because I'm stoked. I'm ready for it. The first brush I'm gonna use is the 07 Dew Color. So this is just a flat fluffy brush. And whatever you like to use to pack shadow on your outer corner, you can use. You definitely don't have to use the same brushes I do. I just use what I like. You can do the same exact thing. I'm going to go into this red shade. I don't believe they have shade names. No, they don't have shade names. So I'm going to go into this red right here. I will say this is not the most impressive red that I've ever worked with. It is doable, but it is not quite as pigmented, as not quite as vivid as I wish that it would be. We're going to take it on our brush, and we're just going to get a good amount on here. And we don't have any kind of face makeup on. I do have my SPF and my moisturizer on, but other than that, my face is bare. And so we're going to go back and we're going to clean up if necessary later. Y'all, if you have dogs, you will understand the like dog hair is everywhere. It is everywhere. It winds up in my makeup brushes. It's all over me. Heaven forbid I wear black because it just shows up like freaking, and there are not enough lint rollers in the world to get rid of it all. So you just come to a certain point where you just accept it. You just accept it being everywhere. I find it in my mouth. Like it floats in the air, and I'll be talking and then be like, there's a dog hair in my mouth. It's wonderful. So taking that red, we're going to pop it on right on the outer corner. And I'm going to start going in with my angled shape. I'm not going to take this too awful high because I do want a little bit of space between the color and my brow bone. And the reason I used this really beautiful like shimmer around almost the entire eye is because if you ever look at a Scarlet Macaw and if you really look at their feathers, at the tip of their feathers, it seems like they've almost got this like iridescence. It's so pretty. So I kind of tried to emulate that with our look today. I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. So just continuing to pack on that pigment right on the outer corner, taking it at a nice angle. And the best thing about this look is it's so easy to accomplish. It's literally just packing the color onto your lid and just kind of blending them together, which I guess is essentially what all eye looks are. But it's really not complicated. It's really just packing the colors on and making sure they look good together. But then it's got that beautiful like pop, and it really just is so, oh, it's so pretty, and it's like high impact. You guys know I'm all about that. High impact, low, I'm so brain dead today, guys. High impact, low effort. That's what we're all about today. I have got my glass of sweet tea because I am a true Selena, and we have to have a glass of sweet tea near us at all times. Speaking of, I have never met a man who can drink sweet tea like my husband can, but I tell you what, that man goes through a gallon, at least a gallon of sweet tea every single day. I swear, it's every 2 days I'm making 3 more gallons because I just can't keep up. And then on top of that, my son drinks like he's a freaking fish. But me, I just drink coffee, like sweet tea and coffee. That's what I drink. Oh, my husband actually got me. I'm going to work while I talk. So I'm going to go into this really beautiful matte blue now. This is such a beautiful, rich blue. So, so pretty. I'm going to take that on this is my BH Cosmetics brush. This is from the Say It collection. And again, it's basically the same thing. It's a thin, kind of flat, fluffy brush. Only this one's just a bit smaller. And I'm going to go, like, really go into this blue and start packing that on, slightly overlapping, but I'm going to continue to kind of map out my shape with this, and I'm sticking to the natural contour of my eye. I say that all the time. Work with what you've got and accentuate what you've got, and then of course you can always make small adjustments depending on how you want things to look. But I am slightly overlapping that blue with the red. It's going to make a little bit of a purple color. And that is going to be our transition shade. So that way the transition between the blue and the red isn't quite so stark. But what was I saying? I was talking about sweet tea. Anyway. I feel like I am forever making sweet tea. But one of my guilty pleasures, we try very, very hard not to drink soda because soda is so bad for you. It is nothing but sugar and just bad stuff. It's delicious, but it's not, it's bad for you. It's so, so horrible. So we try very hard not to keep it in the house. But one of my guilty pleasures is absolutely cream soda. Cream soda and root beer are my 2 absolute favorite carbonated beverages. And I haven't had cream soda, and Lord, I couldn't even tell you how long. It's been forever. I usually just drink coffee or tea. And my husband came home yesterday, and he brought a couple of 2 liters of cream soda home. And not only did he get cream soda, but he got the good stuff. He got the A&W cream soda, which is my absolute favorite. And goodness gracious almighty, I went through that 2 liter. It's half gone. It is half gone. Since yesterday, I had like 3 glasses of it, and see, just watering like crazy. It's just melting off my eye makeup. I know it's allergies, but it is not conducive to like a beautiful kind of staying powder. Staying power. Anyway, he brought me home a delicious treat, and I absolutely devoured it. So I won't be having soda again for a little while, but that's okay. I quite enjoyed it while it was here. I still have a half a 2 liter, and I'm acting like it's absolutely gone forever and like my life is over. But you know, you don't realize how much you miss things because it's like out of sight, out of mind. And I didn't realize how much I missed soda, cream soda, until I poured myself that first glass of like creamy fizzy yumminess. So, but I heard online in one of, I don't know, I think it popped up on Facebook, that if you cut soda out of your diet for a year, like you can lose a crazy amount of weight because it's so bad for you and it's so full of sugars. So that's what we've been doing, and we have been really, really good about it for quite a long time. Yesterday was my first kind of cheat day, and I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed it a lot. See how it's making that really pretty kind of like purple in between where we've overlapped the blue and the red together? Now all I'm doing is really just kind of working that line, because eye looks like this really, really depend on a good blend. If you don't get your blend right, everything's not going to be cohesive and your colors are not going to melt together and look seamless, which ideally is what we would like to have happen. So with gentle, gentle pressure, I'm just taking my brush, that first brush, and working over that line to really just melt the two shadows together. Just like that. Really beautiful kind of, there's no solid line there anymore. Now I've got just a really beautiful gradient from red to blue. I'm going to work on brightening that red back up just a little bit. Making sure it's nice and vivid. I'm really just kind of tapping that color on now. Just like that. I'm going to go back in to the BH brush and do the same thing with the blue. Just kind of tap that on. Make sure everything's nice and vivid before we move on to our next color. Really pretty. I probably will go back in and blend that just a little bit more later. Going into a super, super cheap brush. This is the one of the brushes out of the brush set I get from Walmart. Super, super cheap. It's $1. It averages out to be $1. But this is just, again, a flat kind of fluffy brush. Very, very similar to the BH Cosmetics one, except the cheapy one is a little bit thinner. And I'm going to go into this really beautiful kind of like blue teal. This is going to be the green. But compared to that very rich blue, it's going to be a lot more green than it looks in the pan. And it's going to be perfect. And because it's got that blue undertone to it, it's going to blend with the blue super, super easily. And we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to continue to pack on, slightly overlapping, and taking it all the way down to our lash line. I am struggling today trying to figure out what I'm going to make for dinner. Does anybody else have that problem? I never knew as an adult that one of my biggest problems in life would be trying to figure out what to make for dinner. But I tell you what, it is, like, trying to figure out what to make for dinner is probably, like, the bane of my existence. I wish to the Lord that I just had, like, I think somebody should invent, like, a food day planner. Like, this is what we're eating for dinner today. So I just have, like, instructions to follow. Because I tell you what, I am so brain dead 99% of the time that I just cannot be bothered to figure out what I'm making for dinner. And like sometimes it's super, super easy. And sometimes I know exactly what I want to eat. But for the most part, I just have no freaking idea. Do you see how beautifully and how easily that blended in with the blue and how seamless it looks? It really just looks like an absolutely stunning gradient. The hardest blend you're going to have is blending that red in with the blue. That's the part that is going to take the absolute most time and effort, and then everything else is such a breeze. I know sometimes looks like these can seem really, really complicated, but if you use the right colors and really take your time with application, I'm going to go back into the BH brush and I'm going to kind of darken up this blue again, just to make sure that none of my colors get lost. And again, it's just going back and forth with looks like these and just making sure that all of your colors are present and accounted for, and everything is nice and vibrant without things getting lost. And now that everything's built up, I can kind of see that my blend here is not where I want it to be. So I'm going to go back into that first Dew Color brush. I'm going to dip into the red again, and I'm just going to blend again. I'm just using super, super gentle pressure and just going over it very, very lightly. But yeah, I have no idea what to do for dinner. I have no idea what I'm doing at all. And that's okay. We'll figure it out. And usually on nights like this, we end up having like hot dogs or pizza or something like that, because I just cannot be bothered. Today is one of those days where I just want to be comfy and cozy and have like a lazy day and not really do too awful much of anything. I'm super, super excited though, because the next video I upload will be all about contour. I've really kind of like been getting into the groove of my contour here recently and really just like figuring out where I want my contour to be and like what I want to push forward and what I want to, you know, playing with dark and light and light and shadows and really just figuring out the planes of my face. And I am to a point now where I really think I've got it down. So I am so, so excited to film that video, because I feel like that was one of the harder things to really like understand when I first started makeup, was actually playing with the light and playing with the shadows and figuring out what parts of my face I really wanted to emphasize. Oh, that looks perfect now. Oh, that is pretty. So, so pretty. My blend never shows up as good on camera as it does in real life, because I'm looking at my camera and it doesn't look as blended, and I keep like going back and forth over it, but I'm looking in my mirror, and in my mirror it looks absolutely stunning. So we're gonna leave it alone. I promise you, it's absolutely gorgeously blended though. I am like the blending queen, I swear. We're going to do the yellow. And the yellow is really, I feel like, what brings the vibrancy to this eye look. Because if you look at this one, and that yellow just really just kind of brings everything together and really brings the light to the eye look. And everything over here just kind of looks dull and not quite as vivid as this eye does. And that's because that yellow really does bring so much light to the look. For that, I'm going to use another BH Cosmetics brush. This is from the Brunch Bunch set. This is this number 7. It is just a very, like a dense, oh, see all that yellow pigment? Oh, that was so pretty. I love it. So this is just a dense kind of angled fluffy brush. And we're going to go into this really beautiful, beautiful yellow. Yellows I find are really difficult sometimes, because you either get yellows that are like not pigmented, or you get yellows that are like patchy and don't really want to lay down or stick. But this yellow really is super, super special. I'll show it. You'll see as soon as I start laying it down. I'm just going to kind of start bringing this on the inner corner of my eye, sticking with the natural contour. And I'm going to blend that into the green. This yellow is also going to help our green to look more yellow. It's going to mix with that more tealy pigment and really bring out the green in it. You see how instantly Just kind of painting it on my inner corner. Really conforming and tucking it in to the contour of my eye. Gentle pressure. But you see how instantly it interacts with that teal? And makes it look more green and makes it look more vivid and brightens everything up like exponentially. It is so, so beautiful. Also, the shimmer is going to help with that as well. But I'm really taking my time with this yellow pigment. And really making sure that I get a nice blend. My son is watching something on his TV in there, and all I hear is people screaming. I feel like I live my life. We do have quite a bit of fallout. We're going to clean that up in just a minute. But I feel like I live my life listening to people screaming from his bedroom. I don't know what in the world he watches. But as long as I don't hear cussing and like violence, I guess it's okay. But sometimes out of nowhere, I'll hear screaming, and then my son will just like bust out laughing. And I know he's watching like comedians and stuff, because I have our internet set up where, you know, we have the parental controls on. Not to a point where he's suffocated, but I just want to make sure like he's not watching like porn or you know, anything that's like seriously like egregious, you know, egregiously like horrible. But he'll just sit there and all of a sudden he'll just bust out laughing. And I tell you what, he is so grumpy and so hateful most of the time. Just to hear him laugh is so nice. I tried to wake him up for school the other day. I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and start cleaning up a little bit of this fallout so we can address our bottom lash line. But look how beautifully that yellow just brightens up the whole thing. I think it makes such a difference. And I love the shape. I almost went for like a bird feather, so I kept it really, really round out here. And just went for like a really like a bird of a feather kind of thing. I just love it. I love the way that this week's look turned out. It's so, so pretty. I haven't been feeling 100%. So I haven't really been like being super, super creative. I mean, I have, but I don't know. I just haven't really been into it. But this look I feel like is so, so pretty. And I love it so, so much. It's making me happy. But I woke Sean up for school the other day. And I tell you what, he was so hateful to me. Like, so hateful. And I know it's part of growing up, and I know that, you know, he's just going to be hateful, and the teen years are, you know, that's to be expected. I'm going to go into this shade now, this really beautiful, like champagne-y, like slightly gold, it's got a slight golden undertone, but this shimmer right here, and we're going to just paint this everywhere. I'm going to take this on another BH brush. This is the number 6. This is, I would say this is a kind of packing brush, or like a small shader brush. And I'm just going to pack this all over underneath my eyebrow. And we're going to go heavy with this, guys. It's really going to give us that slight fluorescence and slight iridescence. And it really does add such a beautiful touch. Now, a lot of people could say that this is a very, very dated shimmer application or highlight application. And I would agree. But for this look, it fits. And it's right at home. And I think it is so, so pretty. We're also going to take this same color, but we're going to mix it with this one right here. This one has a slight like lavender shift to it. And we're going to put that on our inner corner. And bring it out on the lower lash line. Just a touch. Again, just to really bring the light in. And really make everything pop. Just like that. It is so, so pretty. I love it so, so much. And of course, you guys can modify this look however you want to. You definitely don't have to do it exactly like I do. But I just think that is so, so pretty. And I'm living for it. So, so yummy. And I know it's part of growing up, and I know that he's going to things are going to get much worse before they get any better. But like, my baby is gone, and he is just this grumpy, mean little turd most of the time. And more often than not, I want to punch him in the face more than I want to hug him. But I actually got a little bit of a cuddling session the other night, which was really, really nice. He just kind of let me sit there and hug him for a minute without, you know, griping and yelling at me the entire time, which I appreciated for sure. It doesn't happen very often. I'm going to take this brush. This is another brush from the Say It collection. I would say this is just like a domed, kind of dense. I love that. I love that effect. It's so pretty. This is just a domed, dense brush. And I'm going to go back into my red color. And I'm going to start at my outer corner. Really trying to keep my lines nice and straight. But again, we can always go back in with the makeup wipe and really clean things up if we need to. But I'm making sure to connect that color and bring it around my eye and really wrap the outer corner of my eye in that beautiful red pigment. Like I said, this is not my red shadow of choice. Actually, my favorite red shadow is in the BH Cosmetics Little Bit Psycho palette. It's an absolutely stunning true crimson, and it's so, so gorgeous. This one is all right. It doesn't have the sticking and staying power that I would prefer, but it does show up nice and vivid. It's very pretty. I'm going to go into a different brush now. This is an e.l.f. This is the Smudge Brush. These brushes are so fantastic. If you've never tried any of the e.l.f. brushes, these are so, so good. They're like $2 a piece. And it is just the absolute best, most perfect smudging brush I have ever used. Perfect for the lower lash line. And now we're going to go into the green. We're going to mix this green with this green shimmer right here, just to really bring a bit more like jewel toned vividness to the under eye. And we're going to start slightly overlapping. And we're going to bring that through the middle of our eye, trying to mimic on the lower lash line what we've got going on up here. And I think that the effect is really, really beautiful. I also like that little bit of shimmer on the lower lash line to help bring in a little bit more light and not make the lower lash line look quite so dark. At this point, I'm going to go in with a black eyeliner. Now, this was sent to me by one of my friends, Kim. And this is the LimeLife double-sided eyeliner. So on one side, you've got a really gorgeous nude. And then on the other, you've got the creamiest, most pigmented black eyeliner. It is so, so gorgeous. I'm going to line my upper and lower lash lines, but I'm going to go just a little bit thicker on this outer corner. Bring just a little bit of that eyeliner onto my actual lash line. Just on the outer corner. And then I'm going to go back in with that smudger brush. And I'm going to smudge that black liner just to give us a little bit more dimension and a little bit more depth. Just smudging it a little bit. And I think it's so, so pretty. We can always go back and add a little bit more of that red if we think we've lost too much of it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back into that BH brush. So this one right here. Dip a little bit more into the red. And just bring it underneath the green. Just a touch. just to make sure we don't lose it. Going back into the smudger brush, I'm just going to take that matte teal pigment and just pack it on until I've got a nice blend that I'm happy with. Very, very pretty. Brighten it up just a touch. And then taking the same brush, I'm going to wipe it off on my towel right here. I'm going to go into that yellow pigment. And just kind of mix it in with that shimmer. And build that up on my inner lash line. And it really does make such a difference. And it brings such the vividness. It brings it back to our lower lash line and really helps everything just kind of match up and mesh together. I think it's so, so beautiful. I do need to clean up this eye just a touch, but so, so pretty. I love it. It always feels like the second eye I do turns out so much better than the first. And I believe it's because I know a little bit more of what I'm doing and have a clearer picture on what I want things to look like. So you guys always get the best version. So there you go. Oh, but that's the eye look for the most part. I'm going to take and just clean this up a little bit. There we go. Oh, has anybody watched the new Ghostbusters movie? It's been out for forever, so I'm sure you guys have. But me and Mr. Hubby sat down and watched it last night. I loved it so much. It was so cute. And we saw, oh, I don't want to give out any spoilers, but we saw some people. There were some cameos. It was fantastic. I just love the Ghostbusters movies anyway. And it set it up so that I think that there's going to be another one, which I'm so excited for. I love it so much. Let's curl our eyelashes really quickly. I like to do 2 reps of 7, and I really like to focus on my outer lashes because those are the longest ones, and I really want them to kind of flare up. And then for our upper lash line, we're going to go in with a black liquid liner, and we're just going to do a really, really thin line, and that's for no other reason than to help give my lash line just a little bit of volume. So pretty, and instantly it gives the eye more of like an exotic look and really kind of helps give you that almond shape, which is so, so pretty. The shape of our actual eyeshadow is really helping to uplift our eyes as well and really give the whole look a very exotic vibe. I love it so much. And then we'll go in with some mascara. You guys know I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do my mascara. It is one of the most boring things on the planet. But of course, there is that 10-second skip ahead button. So y'all go ahead and use that if you don't want to watch me stab myself in the eye, which is what happens 99% of the time. Just doing a really quick coat, just so you guys can get the effect. As always, I'm going to be posting finished pics over on my Facebook page, Makeup for the Everyday Mama, so be sure to go over there and check those out. I always feel like you get a better look and a better feel for the eye look in a picture because you can zoom in and really look at everything and really take in the details piece by piece. So I for sure make sure I post everything over there. I also have Instagram. I don't really promote my Instagram very much, but I do have an Instagram. It is Makeup Mama, of course. Everything is Makeup Mama. And let's do a little bit of, I don't know if I want to do a lipstick because I got green everywhere. I don't know if I want to do a lipstick just because I was so not smart and picked at my lip, and I shouldn't have done that. It is never a good idea to pick at a pimple. I don't even know. The only reason I think I even have it in the first place is because, you know, all of our least favorite aunt, well, she's in town and running amok and having all kinds of fun with my hormones and making all kinds of little friends pop out all over my face. You know, just our favorite part of being females. But for the most part, that is the eye look. I think it is so pretty. I am so in love with it and inspired by the absolutely stunning Scarlet Macaw. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. Thanks for hanging out with me. I know your time is precious, so I'm so grateful you choose to spend it with me. Be on the lookout for that next video. I'm actually going to film it right after this because, you know, I don't want to waste this eye look. I was so in love with it. Oh, and I placed a Shein order, a Shein beauty order, so be on the lookout for that. Also, I placed an order with Ace Beauté, so we've got some of those palettes coming. We're going to review the new formula, and I'm super excited about that. I also have an M Cosmetics blush coming, so I have heard so many wonderful things about that that formula in general, so I'm excited to try that out as well. I've got a lot of really fun videos lined up and planned for this month, so I cannot wait to share all of that with you guys. I love you so much. I am so appreciative just of you in general. I just am so thankful that you guys click on my videos and come hang out with me. It really means more than you will ever know. I hope you enjoyed this look. As always, make sure you go and check out the pictures on my Facebook page, and I will have everything that I used today listed in the description box below. I love you so much. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.